Good morning, this is Polynikes, and this is an Infinity Battle Report. Today we're going to be playing Countermeasures, and it's going to be Vanilla PanO versus Vanilla Combined Army. Countermeasures, interesting mission. Not my favorite for a tournament, but just fine for a casual game night, which is what this is. It's all about the classifieds, right? You deal out 3, do them, deal out more, and you can bin 1 every turn. Doing more gives you 2, and you get 1 per. So in theory, you can have pretty high scores on both sides here. In this season of ITS, we get the Blizzard rule. We'll have blizzards on the board in the form of compact discs, you'll see them. And you get a little turret, little total reaction 360 visor BS-10 combi rifle. Yeah, not much else to say about this mission. It just gives you a lot to do rather than kill each other, which I do like. Even if the display of what you're trying to do is kind of weird sometimes, as we'll see. Alright, so this is my list. It's good to keep in mind that I know the mission I'm playing and my opponent, Vanilla PanO, when I make this list. So I want to be prepared for a tag, probably some heavy infantry. And when I deploy and when I'm list building, I'm thinking about the Squallow dropping grenades on me on turn 1 too, which is a possibility. It just affects my deployment a little bit, so I'm not clumping guys up when kind of I want to and sometimes. Alright, so Legatus, primary gunfighter in Group 1. Caliban, great all around, really good for doing the engineer objectives and something like Predator. Yaugat Hacker, big fan of Yaugats, really like the Hacker as he can do almost, well, I can do like half the classified deck or something like that. So he's great. Bit and Kiss, again, very efficient, put out the repeater network to dissuade tags, heavy infantry, and get some objectives. Mock Rep, the Mock Rep was almost another Yaugat, but I decided I wanted 6 cents, just in case there was somebody with stealth running around through my repeaters. And then they have the bad choice of either letting me hack for free with the Mock Rep, or resetting and letting everyone else hack. And I'll have a total of 5 hackers in this list, I believe, and 4 of which can actually do something, because Bit comes with Oblivion, despite being a killer hacker. So very good hacking presence. A couple of R-drones, and repeaters, flash pulses, orders, Icadron, mainly in case I need to reload Bit and Kiss, though I rarely ever do that. Q-drone, all around good, and will be my reserve, often is. I guess I was thinking that if I go first, the Umbra would be my reserve, because I can get him in a good attack position. And if I go second, he'll kind of hide, and the Q-drone will be my reserve. Yeah. Imatron, T-drone, if I have this many hackers, may as well have a guided missile. Cadmus, great for doing objectives, dropping in, clearing minefields. Yeah, I've been enjoying the Cadmus, so I'm using him. Medtech, definitely an auto-include for this mission, because there's so many objectives that he'll be able to do. Slave drone to help him out. Nexus Hacker, Lieutenant there. I used to use this a lot in N3, but in N4 he's a lot more vulnerable, and he doesn't have nullifiers to protect himself, so I don't do it that much. But versus PanO, I'm not really expecting them to be able to reach out and killer hack me. They could Squallow me, it's true, but Nexuses have a bonus to their dodge, so that makes the Squallowing much less effective. Alright, that's my list. This is my opponent's list. Of course, I don't know it when we're starting, right? He does do his lieutenant role on 14, and DeFerson is really the only option for that when he deploys, so I know that's his lieutenant to start. He's a good hacker, again, good gunfighter, and good for this mission. His hacking can do a lot of the classifieds, especially combined with heavy infantry. Night Hospitaller, Heavy, Doctor, also good for the mission. Bolt, it's obviously chain of command is hidden, but if you see a Bolt just sitting there, combat rifle, light shotgun with an obvious lieutenant, it's pretty clear it's going to have chain of command. Bolts are also veterans, and so they can do some objectives, and they have a total terrain, which allows them to run around through the blizzards easily. And of course, they're just great gunfighters. Blackfire, again, mission good stuff with the visor. And his weapon loadouts are all good. Tick Belong, big gunfighter, very good. Fugazi, Mulebot. I think the EVO hacker is there to protect the tag with a firewall. That's not doing anything else on this list in particular, so that's probably its goal. Total Reaction Mulebot, I'm a fan of it. No, a lot of people don't use it. I like it. Machinist Palbot and Crocman Forward Observer. Crocman are great. Deployable repeaters on a hidden deployment guy, very, very good. The only critique I really have here is this Machinist should probably be a Monstrucker. Should be only a regular order, aside from the attack awareness, so that's fine. You can just flip the order to regular every turn if you need to. And he's a better machinist, and he comes with drop bears. So I would generally take a machinist over a monstrucker over a machinist. All right, so lieutenant order, my opponent wins and declares to go first. We've already seen the first round of classifieds, and they're all pretty easy to get. We'll get to them in a moment. So going first totally makes sense there. This is the board. I have deployment, and so I'm eventually going to deploy on this side, as you'll see, but here you can see the whole board for a moment. This building has an entrance on this side as well as this side. You can go through. Same with this building over here. There's an entrance there. Go on to the next. This is the other side of the table that I do not take. I made my decision because of this building here. I wanted my opponent not to have access to that. I wasn't really planning on using it, but I didn't want my opponent to. And the side that he has is a little more defensible. You can go inside this box. You got a little fortified area here if you want to hide behind it. But you got to move up to do objectives pretty much, so I was happy on the side I was on. These are our 3 objectives in the first turn. Yeah, all definitely doable in the first turn. My opponent, because his only D charges are on that machinist we talked about, is going to bin this and get another one, which we will see when we get there. I think it's another HVT one. I don't remember which one, but we'll see a picture of it in a minute. So, deployment. My opponent's right flank, Blackfriar. Of course, I don't know it, but the Crocman is hidden right about here. We've got Mulebot, the total reaction version, Machinist, and EVO Mulebot. The total reaction Mulebot is, of course, standing, and you can see this ridge up here. And I think this is pretty good deployment because in cover he's armor 5, so he's going to be hard to completely remove from the board, and the Machinist is right next to him. So he can repair it if he needs to, possibly get test run if that comes up. So this is just fine deployment here. Moving across the board, the Fugazi in the center, the Palbot here, and the Hospitaller Doctor there. The Palbot is a little bit of a telegraph of where the tag is going to go. Yeah, otherwise it would, yeah, I just thought it was. Okay. Moving along, this is the Bolt chain of command hidden back here. This is Deferson up here. Another thing to consider about that is, again, he's going first, so it's not as much of a concern, but if you have your lieutenant, who's kind of obvious, and your chain of command, who's kind of obvious, kind of in the same area, like one good attack over there could kill both of them. So I would have probably had the Bolt on the other side, maybe next to the Machinist or something like that. But that's where they are. And with 2 models missing, I'm definitely expecting a tag and maybe something hidden, maybe a jumper, maybe a second tag, maybe even, right? We just got a cutter. But I didn't really do the points to check that, and there definitely were not enough points for a cutter and another tag in this. Okay. Then his HVTs. This is our Blizzard Zone, and this is HVT1 on his far left, HVT2 very in the center, and HVT3 fairly far on his right. Yeah. Okay, my deployment. On my far left, we've got my first HVT right there. The Umbra Legatus with his Spitfire right up against the exclusion zone and prone. Inside this building, we've got the Mach Rep with her boarding shotgun. And I put the prone marker on top of the building. You can see it right here. Oh, wrong button there. To help us all remember there's a model inside the building, because sometimes we forget. In the back, we got the T-drone kind of hiding, the Icadron in group 2, the white trim one there you can see, that means it's in group 2. Medtech, Bit, Kiss, R-drone. You can see the other HVT up here. This R-drone is very defensively deployed. You can see like down this line, which actually is pretty far, but not this line. And that's just so something big gunfighter doesn't come out and kill it very quickly. He at least has to work for the kill. Moving to the center, we'll see my turret right here, which is this cool Halo toy I haven't put on a base yet. R-drone, repeater from Bit, Nexus Hacker, and a slave drone down here. And you can see things are a bit spread out, right? So that if he is swallowing me with his reserve, he won't get too much. I don't even think he would be able to get the 2 of them, right? I'm not sure right now, but and if he did, that's not that bad. I mean, Kiss is not a primary piece that I need to save. All right, over here, Icadron, and you can see my 3rd HVT there. I'm going to go back just a second. So 1 HVT here and 1 over there in that corner. I'm defending both these HVTs fairly well. I've got some lines there, the Umbra's over there, and going back the other way, the turret and the R drone are both facing the approach to both those HVTs there, because we know the HVTs are for a lot of the objectives. So I have mine pretty well defended and blocked off by the blizzards. Even though the blizzards in terrain zones generally tend to speed up the people who are moving through them than slowing them down, which is a very strange effect, but that's how we are. All right, on my right, got my Yalgat hiding down here, camo token just out of my deployment zone in this building, which is the Caliban, and Group 1's Imatron over there. In hindsight, I kind of wish my Yalgat was up here. It just would have been a little closer when he starts to move out, but I didn't know how aggressive my opponent was going to be in the first turn. I didn't really want to get him killed, so he's back there. Reserve, no, there's my HVTs first. Mine tucked over there, one by the car, one in the far corner. Okay. Reserve, his tag goes down right there. Only comment on this is his PalBot is like right here next to the tag, and it's within template range. So if he moves out his tag and like he gets noctifered or something like that, the PalBot could die as well. So I would just have the PalBot deployed a little bit farther back. No reason to get splashed if you don't need to. All right, my reserve is my Q drone, which goes down here. Again, it's defending that same approach to the HVTs. It's also defending against an attack run that comes in here or goes onto the higher structure over in this direction. And I almost put it on top of the building where I could see a good part of the board, but that tick belong was down. He would have just killed me in like one order most likely. And I didn't have a slave drone up there or a dock nearby, so it wouldn't have been good to revive him. So he's down here pulling some guard duty, which is fine for him. Ah yeah. This is the other classified that gets pulled when sabotage gets binned by my opponent in his first turn. Definitely doable ones all around. And you'll note that my Yalgat and Makrep can do all three of these objectives, right? Which is great. Wish I was going first to get him, but I'm not. Okay, so he starts out spending Lieutenant Order on DeFerson, which as we know is safe because he's got a bolt, right? He runs up to here, stops at the zone. And then we see that this R drone has a really long line to this blurry thing right here, which is DeFerson. We get into a little firefight there. I believe I do flash pulse him, but he makes his BTS saves. And because of the range and Spitfire brackets, mimetism cover, DeFerson is at -12. So he's not a super threat to the R drone, right? Next order, DeFerson moves up to here. He is within 8, so he goes for the hacker, which is hacker objective with -3. He fails that, and he gets flash pulse. So he's stunned and not doing that anymore, which is great, right? There's a stun marker. And now he's going to start falling back because he doesn't want to end his turn up here, right? Something's going to come get him for sure. He falls back a little bit with guts. He starts falling back, and I think this is part of a coordinated order. Yeah, Tick Belong moves up. Fugazi moves up. DeFerson moves back. Blackfire moves up. Yeah. New order, Blackfire is checking line of fire here. Doesn't quite have it yet till he comes around that corner. And what he does is he just pops over here and throws a mine, a drop bear, which puts a mine right there, which is good placement. It's protecting the main entranceway, which is that little gap in the wall, which is here, and one of the HVTs. So that's good. It's good mine placement. Tick Belong falls back, leaves a mine. Tick Belong falls back, leaves a mine. And that's pretty much it. Over to my turn. So my opponent went forward. He did get one objective. I think I missed that with the Blackfire. I think the Blackfire came forward and did one of the objectives on the HVT before it moved back and laid that mine. All right, so here I am doing coordinated move to move up a couple of guys here. The Umbra, it's always weird that you stand on stairs as if the stairs were the ground and you're standing out, right? But that's what the game says, so that's what we do. Umbra moves up to there. Makrep is moving up. Ikadron and Yalgat are moving up. Moving up my objective getters, and I want to get this repeater into the center of the board because he's got a tag, he's got a couple heavy infantry, right? And his only real hacker is DeFerson, as far as I know. He could have a hidden one, but... so yeah, if I can get some good repeater coverage in there, I can really stifle what my enemy wants to do. The coordinated orders gets him up, and then the Yalgat moves out. This is DeFerson's stun token, it's not there. Yalgat moves out to here, gets the hacker objective, and then falls back. Yeah. Here I am trying to get past the Tick Belong, which you can see all the way up here. So I do a cautious move from the edge of the stairs all the way up to there. Umbra's got a 6-2 move, so he's good cautious. My plan with Umbra is just kind of keep him up here as a threat. And I could move forward and engage the total reaction Mulebot from there. I don't because, A, it's not a great shot. It's armor 5, right? I'll be 4 dice on 12s. It'll be 3 dice on probably 2s. But even if I hit him, he's armor 5. And if he goes unconscious, his engineer's right there. Could give him test run, right? So it just didn't seem like a great engagement for me. So I don't. He just kind of hides up here. Eventually goes prone there as part of a coordinated order that moves up the Macrep and the Icodron and the Yalgat moving back to go hide in the building with his Caliban friend. Macrep moves up. I think it takes her 2 orders, but she gets the other objective over there that doesn't need line of fire. Follow up maybe? We'll see him in a second. Icodron moves into the center. He gets hacked by DeFerson when he does this, and I knew that was coming. I thought about it. I'm BTS 6. He's going to Oblivion me. I can reset against it, and if I fail, I still have enough orders to get my slave drone up there and fix him. So it's a little rash to move into that repeater range, but it's not terrible. And I do indeed beat DeFerson on the reset, and my repeater is fine. All right, so we flip over the turn. I got 2 objectives on my turn. My opponent got 1. My identity check is still there, HVT designation, and in extremis recovery. So my opponent's second turn, he brings up the Blackfriar, realizes he's in hacker range of the Macrep. I try to spotlight him and fail, and I think he just reset against that. Yeah, which may be why I failed, but he just moved up to there and did not get spotlit. Then Crocman appears, Macrep holds, Crocman drops a repeater right here, and the Macrep does get off the spotlight this time, so Crocman is targeted. He'll eventually just go back into camo, which is a little bit of a weird interaction. You can be targeted and in camo. As far as we know, it's fine. And of course, I can't missile him while he's in camo state. So repeater goes down, puts the Macrep in a bad situation because DeFerson, who's over here, and is able to move up, and then Trinity through the repeater. I throw an Oblivion back. Maybe I'll get lucky. Very unlikely. I do not, and the Macrep dies. I was really hoping to at least just go unconscious because the Macrep has an auto med kit, and then my opponent may spend an order finishing her off, or if he doesn't, she might get back up. So, but that doesn't happen. She dies. Now we're on to the Blackfriar moving up again. We're checking some line of fires here. As it moves across here, it does see the R drone, but it's pretty far away. And the R drone has cover and bad range for the multi-rifle. So nothing happens in that exchange. And the Blackfriar moves up here and is able to get an objective there and then fall back. Now you can see the R drone down here kind of seeing like that. And I believe the Blackfriar, as he goes back, has the engagement again with the R drone, and this time puts the R drone unconscious. I guess that was after this though. The Fugazi moves up, and he just does a move, which is really rash. He should definitely move reset, or as he said after this, he realized, activated DeFerson to Oblivion the Icodron who's in there. And the Fugazi takes a whole bunch of arrows, takes 2 Oblivions and Carbonate, and ends up isolated and immobilized. Immobilized A, I think it is. Okay, Blackfriar moves back over here, puts down the R drone, not quite off the board, right, because I do have cover and bad range. And he's firing through a saturation zone anyway. My opponent then jokes the test run will now come up for sure, right, because he just put my drone down. And the tick belong just goes to suppression fire where it is. It's a little annoying to me that the tick belong didn't move because it's still covering the Umbra who's up there, so he can't really make a good attack now without getting past the tick belong. Even though tick belong did go to suppressive fire, he would just break it and shoot me at long range. At least I assume he would. Okay, so true to form, test run comes up, and that's the first thing I do on my turn. Dockworm moves up to there, sends his slave drone up over here just to be in better positioning to do things, fixes the R drone, and I get that. Then the lieutenant spends a couple of orders. I think I did spend the lieutenant order, revealing my lieutenant, to spotlight his HVT for that objective through my repeater in the center of the board. Now the Yalgat moves out, and I see his drone here, who's resetting on a 1 because he's isolated and immobilized. I shoot him with my combi rifle. The drone resets, which is hilarious. But not terribly relevant because the combi rifle does 3 wounds to it and blows it off the board. Alright, now we're deciding on the next attack run, and I decided to use Bit and Kiss. There's an alternate attack run which I'll get to when I show a better picture of the avenue, but I went with this one because it was a little safer and order efficient, at least I thought. Bit and Kiss start to move out. They move up like this. They shoot off some repeaters. Bit put ones over here. This is on my far left where the black fire is running around. Kiss puts them into this building. Now the tag is here and DeFerson is here. So I fired them both in there. They're long bomb shots, so he's at -3, hitting on 8s. That doesn't bother me. They're unopposed. 2 40% chances is great. And I have an Icodron nearby if I need to reload it. So I'm totally happy with those odds. Yes, that day there's another repeater. And in this case, both of them hit. So there we are. Bit and Kiss then move up to here and do some hacking battle with DeFerson. A couple trinities later, DeFerson is unconscious. He's got the bolt, so it's not that bad for him, right? He just basically loses an order. And his main hacker, which is good. Bit and Kiss end their turn. Bit here, Kiss inside the building, kind of looking out that way. And don't forget the Icodron is in there. Okay, so this is the beginning of the next turn. That's all I did in my turn. Oh, the last literally 5 orders of my turn were trying to oblivion the tag here and failing. Okay, and I did forget to mention that. The last 4 orders of my first turn were spent trying to isolate, to spotlight, and then when I got down to my last order, isolate the Fugazi, which also all failed. So, yay for hacking. The other attack route I was thinking, my Caliban could have run up all the way over here, come around this corner and engage DeFerson. Probably killed him in a short-range firefight with my SMG, because don't really want to fight him in close combat. And then, if I'd had the orders, right, moved over here and killed the Bolt who was hiding behind this wall over here. I chose not to because I'd be quite a bit slowed down by this zone, and I would not have enough orders to engage successfully on both. And then my Caliban would be over here somewhere, and I might not even have killed DeFerson. So that's why I went with the Bit and Kiss attack instead. Okay, so this is the beginning of my opponent's turn 3, where the Bolt runs up here, total terrain, so it is not stopped, but actually sped up by this zone, and he sweeps around the corner here. He eventually comes down, I think the next picture, oh, okay, a little out of order here, but here are the 3 objectives for this turn, which is Net Undermine, Telemetry, and In Extremis Recovery. Bolt is a veteran, so he's going to go for this one. If he gets a chance, he'll do that one. Okay, so the Bolt's running up here, comes around this corner, gets targeted by going by a repeater, not a big deal. When it gets up to here, it's on my half of the board, and it makes the Net Undermine, getting him that objective. When he is there, getting that objective, the Yao guy gets a dodge and jumps over here to be in cover, which, helps a little against the Bolt. At least I get armor bonus, right? Bolt comes around the corner here, engages the Yao guy, and he's targeted. I'm shooting my heavy pistol, which is not bad, but he is shooting back with a light shotgun and 19s. Indeed. Hits the Yao guy twice, and the Yao guy fails 1 save, going unconscious. There it is. Bolt moves out. It's taking an arrow from the Icodron, who I flash pulse, and Kiss, who you can't quite see, there she is. Kiss firing her SMG like such. Bolt puts Kiss down with a shot from the combi rifle, but gets flash pulsed by the Icodron here. Bolt gets stunned, but the In Extremis Recovery is not labeled as an attack. It's just a short skill. So he's still able to do it. And he's gonna, there's the stun thing. He's gonna move over here to do it and get shot by a pistol from the Icodron, but make his save. Fail the In Extremis Recovery roll, but then go prone right here and do it again. The second time, there's Bit unconscious. Second time he does it, I dodge out with the Caliban and get to right here. He obviously can't attack me because he's stunned, so I'm not really worried about revealing myself right now, and no one else has the orders to get over here. So I jump out to there. Whether that was a mistake or not, I don't totally know. Because when I attack him, I won't have surprise now. Or I'll spend another order to recamo before I attack him, and I definitely won't do that. So, I don't know, possible mistake, I did it. There it is. The other side of the board. Crocman moves up. You can barely see him, a little blur right here. And he's got that line of fire all the way down to this R drone right here. He surprises me with a forward observe, and he gets it off. So my opponent got 3 objectives that turn. Clean sweep, very nice. And that puts us tied at 4 going into my 3rd turn, which is a good position for me to be in, because getting 1 more in the turn shouldn't be that hard. And fortunately for me, experimental drug comes up. Data scan, and oh yeah, there were 2 HVT ones, which is a little weird now because the enemy has no more HVTs, which is kind of frustrating. But, so I won't be able to do that. Data scan is good. Experimental drug is good because Bit is unconscious, right? So, first thing that happens is Caliban moves in, uses just his close combat weapon to knock the Bolt unconscious, doesn't want to kill it with a decharge. That works just fine. Bolt's unconscious, I have an extra wound. Slave drone runs all the way up, heals bit, she wakes up, she moves over towards the bolt, throws a pitcher. Remember, she can't do the objective through a pitcher, so just moves over. I have like plenty of orders left here, like 5 or 6 orders, and then is able to get the objective there. At that point, I can't do the third objective. There's no real reason to do anything else. And I bring in my Cadmus just so he's not considered dead, and that's the end of the game. We have an 8-4 victory for the combined army. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like and subscribe buttons at the bottom. Feel free to leave me a comment of anything you thought about the game or anything you'd like to see as content from here. And yeah, thanks for watching.